I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started with the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, first let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show. And once you're going to educate about the show, well, that's when you can click on that merchandise tab. We'll take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our pride logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you've come to know and love and expect from Renegades of Puck are still available in our online store. Whether that's socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, it makes no difference to us. We've put our logo on it. We have something like 88 gimmicks in our online store. We've sold out so that you can buy in. So we sure would appreciate if you pick up some merch today. Social media is of critical importance to this operation, so listen up. Here's how you can support the Renegades of Puck. You can still find us on X. We are also now on Threads. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram and also on TikTok. And you can find us in several other places as well. You can find us on YouTube. Please give us a subscription along the YouTube lines there and help us out. Catch our episodes of Renegades of Puck TV, our previews, our recaps, all of our analyst videos, and so much more right there on YouTube. Just search Renegades of Puck today. The audio podcast, closing out the year 2023 in an incredible way, heading towards 7 million downloads for the year. And we sure do appreciate everyone at the Full Press Network, Full Press NHL, for helping us achieve going from local to global in the year 2023. So much is appreciated for what everyone behind the scenes is doing. You can find us on Google, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon, so many other different podcast platforms. Just search Renegades of Puck in your preferred platform today. Venmo, that's how you can support the Renegades of Puck financially. Make a donation by scanning the QR code that's currently on your screen, or just search Renegades of Puck in Venmo. Every dollar goes a long way to helping this operation. So please, if you can, help us out. We've done a lot of stuff behind the scenes recently, and it's certainly been thanks to generous Renegades just like you watching and listening right now out there. Now, I know it's time to get to the No Half Step Hockey coverage, so let's get to the goods. It's time for operation number 835. That's right. Time for show number 835. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in fourth place in the Central Division after 29 games skated. They have a record of 16-13. 32 points has them 4 points behind the first place Colorado Avalanche. On the road, which is where the Preds' next game will take place, they have a record of 6-7. They've scored 90 goals this season, given up 88 against on the season. Now, I mentioned 4 points behind Colorado, so let's go with the Central Division's latest standings updated from top to bottom. Colorado Avalanche in first place with 28 games skated. 17-9-2 is 36 points. They are exactly 1 point ahead of the Dallas Stars. They've played one more game than the Dallas Stars. Stars are 16-8-3 with 35 points. The Winnipeg Jets are 16-9-2 with 34 points. And you'll find the Nashville Predators in fourth place with 32 points. The Arizona Coyotes 4 points back of that at 28. The St. Louis Blues at 27. They've made a coaching change overnight. The Minnesota Wild are in seventh place with 24 points. Now, two teams in the Central Division have changed head coaches this season, St. Louis and Minnesota. And Chicago Blackhawks are in eighth and final spot in the Central with only 19 points on the season. For the Nashville Predators, once they wrap up this game in Carolina, which is where the next game will take place, Saturday they'll be home to face off against Washington Capitals. So Friday in Carolina, Saturday back home against the Caps, Tuesday versus the Vancouver Canucks on the 21st of December at Philadelphia to close out the regular season series there. On 23rd of December, the Dallas Stars come to Bridgestone Arena, and then on the 27th of December, the same Carolina Hurricanes will be back at Bridgestone Arena. So the Preds will wrap up their regular season series against Carolina Hurricanes on the 27th of December. That's funny. And the same thing with the Philadelphia series, coming and going incredibly quickly. When it comes to the Carolina Hurricanes, they have a record of 15-12-1 on the season, 31 points. It's good for fifth in the Metropolitan Division. On home ice, dominant, 8-2-1. 92 goals scored on the season, 91 goals given up against. That is a +1 goal differential. Now, they've had some tough times in their most recent stretch of action, a lot of it taking place on the road. On the 4th of December, a 2-1 loss at the Winnipeg Jets. On the 6th of December, a 6-1 loss at the Edmonton Oilers. On the 7th, a 3-2 loss at Calgary, followed up on the 9th with a 4-3 loss at Vancouver, and most recently on the 12th of December, a 4-1 win at the Ottawa Senators. Now, they will have one more game on this road trip. It will take place in Detroit on Thursday before having to head back home and face off against the Nashville Predators on Friday. So the Canes will be on their second night of back-to-backs when they play the Preds. The Preds will be on their first night of back-to-backs when they play the Canes. The Canes will also have to travel the night before, so play, travel, and then host the Predators on Friday. When it comes to the NHL rankings in the matchup here, the Nashville Predators are scoring 3.07 goals per game. That's 18th best in the NHL, while the Carolina Hurricanes are generating 3.25 goals per game. That's 13th best overall in the NHL. Goals against category, Preds are giving up 3.03 per game. That's 11th best. 3.25 is Carolina's number at 18th overall in their ranking. 30.3 shots per goal is 17th. That's for the Nashville Predators side of things. Now, this is interesting. The Carolina Hurricanes are dominating in shots for and shots against. They are first in the league with shots for at 34 per game. They're also first in shots against, 25.3. So a 9-shot differential between shots for and shots against for this Canes team. They are first in both of those metrics, while the Preds giving up 31.1 shots against per game is 19th overall in the NHL. When it comes to the special teams matchup, Carolina Hurricanes power play is converting at 22.3%. That's 13th best overall in the league. 21 out of 94 is the raw data. The Preds converting at 20.6%. That's 16th in the league. 27 out of 107. When it comes to the penalty kill, the Nashville Predators from last in the NHL up to 21st in just a matter of a couple of weeks. 77.7% is their kill rate. 21 power play goals against, and I mentioned 21st is their ranking in the league, and it's a substantial uptick in that metric in a short amount of time. The Carolina Hurricanes kill rate's 80%. That's 17th best in the NHL. They've given up 18 power play goals on the season. Now, every team has a ton of high-skilled individuals in the NHL, so we like to always point out the top 5 individual scores for each team, and Sebastian Aho is always feasted against this Nashville Predators team. 10 goals, 15 assists for 25 points on the season, leads the Canes. Jarvis has also played quite well against the Predators in the past, 10 and 10 for 20. Natchez 8 and 12 for 20. Teravainen 11 and 8 for 19, and Shea 5 and 13 for 18. All of these players typically play pretty well against the Nashville Predators. Philip Forsberg, 15 goals, 18 assists. Both of those lead the team respectively in those categories. 33 points is the overall team leader. O'Reilly's at 12 goals and 11 assists for 23 points. Roman Yossi's at 6 goals and 17 assists for 23 points. Nyquist, 4 and 15 for 19. And Colton Sisson's 5th on the team and scoring 9 goals, 6 assists for 15 points. Expected or potential goaltender matchup, I should say. Saros, 13 and 10 on the season. Now at 9.10 save percentage, 2.79 goals against average. Those numbers looking so much more impressive than they were just a couple of weeks ago. In Antiranta at 6.5 and 0, 8.60 save percentage, 3.40 goals against average. Those numbers are not looking good right now. So we'll see what the Canes end up doing in this back-to-back setup. So that's got you all set up for the Nashville Predators and Carolina Hurricanes. Not the most complete setup because the Canes got to play in Detroit on Thursday night, but the Preds having an extra day off. We wanted to go ahead and get this show and get this preview and get this one out of the way so that we can get you all set up for the back-to-back coming up this weekend. We got to get into the Rebirth Sports full game recap. The Nashville Predators welcomed in the Philadelphia Flyers to Bridgestone Arena, and we're going to find out what happened in that game coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back December the 12th, the year 2023, when the Nashville Predators were welcoming in the Philadelphia Flyers for the first of 2 regular season meetings that will both take place during this month of December. Head coach Andrew Burnett deployed his line combinations in the following way, and with everybody being healthy, listen up some different combinations. Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Sherwood, Novak, and Evangelista back together. Trennan, Glass, and Sissons, Smith, McCarron, and Parson and Tomasino out as a healthy scratch. Yossi and Fabro, McDonough and Carey, Luzon and Shen, Barry out as the healthy scratch. UC Saros getting the start in net on home ice for the Nashville Predators. And he's going to work just 25 seconds in the game as UC Saros coming up with the first save of the game, coming up with a save on Forrester at 42 seconds of the first period. Forrester off the box. 2 minutes for slashing. Ursland's coming up with a save on Novak. Ursland's then coming up with a save on Forsberg. Then a third save on Nyquist before the end of this Nashville Predators power play, standing tall early on in this first period. At 3:02 of the first period, Luke Schen's off the box. 2 minutes for roughing, just a little too aggressive on his defense again. This time, UC Saros going to work. UC Saros coming up with a big save on Lawton. Then UC Saros coming up with a save on Atkinson. So both teams now have an opportunity on the power play, and neither team able to convert 5:59 of the first period. UC Saros coming with the save on Brink at 6:43 of the first period. Saros coming with a save on Nyquist, 9:21 of the first. Saros comes up with a save on Farabeen at 9:42. The Nashville Predators break through and get on the scoreboard first in this game. It's Nyquist's fourth goal of the season. It was a perfect deflection of Carrier's long shot, giving the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead. Again, Nyquist just a perfect redirect from just on top of the blue paint. At 11:40 of the first period, UC Saros going to save on Atkinson's strong drive to the net. This was a 5-star save, no doubt about it. At 12:38 of the first period, first I thought it was Roman Josi going to the box, but they got Josi out of the box and put Dante Fabro in the box. 2 minutes for hooking on Tippett's backdoor crash. It was an odd man rush again for the Philadelphia Flyers, and Fabro ends up taking the penalty right here, trying to prevent the scoring chance. UC Saros back to work, this time with the blocker, a save on Frost. Then Saros comes up with another save on Couturier, plus the rebound gem. Flyers buzzing all over the Nashville Predators. At 15:28 of the first period, Evangelista is now off to the box. 2 minutes for hooking, and Philadelphia's getting another opportunity on the power play, and Saros coming in with another save on Frost, and yet another save on Lawton at 18:18 of the first period. Saros coming up with a save on Josi at 18:42 of the first period. Saros coming up with a save on Sissons, and the rebound goes up over the crossbar. Golden opportunity for Colton Sissons right here. The Philadelphia Flyers outshoot the Nashville Predators first period 15-7, but the Nashville Predators do hold a 1-goal lead. On to the second period in the clean sheet. It starts just like the first, but this time 5 seconds quicker, 20 seconds into the second period. UC Saros coming with a save on Forrester on a 2-on-1. Just an incredible save to happen this quickly off the puck drop in the second period. The Flyers clearly ready to go, because then 34 seconds into the second period, Saros coming up with a save on Couturier's partial breakaway. 49 seconds, Saros coming up with a save on Farabee. Three incredible saves by UC Saros in the first minute of the second period. But at 3:05 of the second period, it's Michael McCarron's fourth goal of the season, giving the Predators a 2-0 lead. Schen's shot hits McCarron's skate. He looks down, gathers it, and finishes from the slot area. This all happened on a delayed penalty call, with the extra attack run. The Nashville Predators taking advantage of this opportunity multiple times on the season. So the Predators now lead 2-0 early in the second period. At 7:20 of the second period, Saros coming with a save on Forsberg off of the rush. A large scrum after the whistle, the largest scrum we would see in this game to this point. At 9:32 of the second period, Saros coming with a save on Ristolainen. At 10:30 of the second period, Hathaway off the box. 2 minutes for high sticking, and editor's note in this situation, it was an absolutely terrible call. There was no possible way there was a high stick in this replay when I got a chance to see it over and over again. So a terrible call. Philadelphia, motivated by getting the bum penalty call against them, end up with 4 shots on goal, 4 shorthanded shots on goal. The Preds, a sloppy mess during this power play, unable to generate any zone time and unable to really possess the puck at any point in time. The Preds do survive their own power play, so we go to the 12:35 mark of the second period, now down to the second half of the game. Saros is coming with a save on Konecki at 13:34. Saros is coming with a save on Tippett's wraparound. Strong help from Sherwood with the big stick check. We've seen this from Sherwood before, and this would help out the netminders. UC Saros is able to come in and clean up on the delayed backhander at 14:07 of the second period. Saros comes with a save on Farabee. 16:36 of the second period. Saros coming with a save on Luke Evangelista at 17:26 of the second period. It's Luzon versus Delorier. 2 extra for unsportsmanlike conduct somewhere in that whole situation. Never really got a clarification on where that was called, but Forsberg with the only scoring opportunity for the Nashville Predators on this power play, but it would be better than the previous one. But unfortunately, as soon as the power play comes to its conclusion for the Nashville Predators, caught with only 1 D back, Couturier is fresh off the rush, slips behind the D, waits Saros out after the PK. Couturier finishes off with his 7th goal of the season. It was, as a matter of fact, it was coming out of the box right there. Farabee coming out of the box and helping set up Couturier. So the Philadelphia Flyers are on the board on Couturier's 7th goal of the season. Nashville now leads 2-1. We hit the end of the second period with the Flyers out shooting the Nashville Predators 29-12. We go to the third period on this back sheet of the paper. 52 seconds in. Nashville, too many men on the ice. They're going to be shorthanded yet again. Saros going to have to come and save on Forrester. Then Saros coming with a save on Frost. UC Saros comes up with a save on Konecki, and then Anderson comes up with a save on Cole Smith's shorthanded breakaway right there at at the end of the power play for the Philadelphia Flyers. Smith had a great opportunity to put the Nashville Predators ahead further in this one. 4:14 of the third period. Forrester misses the net after Schen's broken stick leads to a turnover and a glorious opportunity just outside the blue paint. Forrester just could not find the net. 6:36 of the third period. So Son coming with a save on Nyquist at 6:49 of the third period. It's Sanheim, his fourth goal of the season, tying game up at 2 apiece. Ended up being a 3-on-1 after a non-call in the neutral zone. Nyquist, who just generated the Nashville Predators' previous scoring opportunity just a few seconds earlier, was held, hooked, pulled something in the neutral zone, and everybody in the ice furious that they didn't get the call. But there was no whistle, there was no call, so play continued on. Sanheim's able to convert easily on the back end. UC Saros throwing his arms up in the air in a considerable amount of disgust over how, honestly, everything is going at this point in the game. 2-2 now in favor of not in favor of anybody, but it seems like the Philadelphia Flyers are leading. 8:06 into the third period. UC Saros coming up with a save on Hathaway. 9:51 of the third period. Sarson coming with a save on Luke Evangelista's sharp angle shot almost from the goal line. Philadelphia is just simply blocking shots all over the rink, but the Preds are generating their best momentum of the game in the offensive zone. And for several minutes here, the Philadelphia Flyers, again, are just in every lane, blocking every shot. And the number of blocked shots that piled up here during this stretch of hockey is pretty incredible. At the 14-minute mark, the Preds do finally get another shot on net. It's by Nyquist, and it's stopped at 15:26. Luzon throws one shot on net. It is also turned aside at 16:03 of the third period. It's going to be UC Saros coming with a save on Couturier, plus the rebound follow-up by Forrester. 16:50. We see another shot on net by the Nashville Predators. Sarson comes with a save on Yakov. Trended at 17:25 of the third period. UC Saros comes with a save on Atkinson, and the Nashville Predators have managed to hold on until the end of regulation, earning themselves a point. The Philadelphia Flyers outshoot the Nashville Predators for the game, for the regulation, 40-19. So the Nashville Predators only pick up 7 shots on goal in the third period on total. The Philadelphia Flyers tie the game up. We go to overtime, and we are just 18 seconds into overtime. As a matter of fact, the Nashville Predators are the only team to possess the puck, and it's Philip Forsberg who's looping around the offensive zone. He fires it towards the net, then he follows it, and then he jams the rebound in. He found the loose puck sitting on the back of the pad and onto the ice, and then into the back of the net. The Nashville Predators come away with the victory 3-2 in overtime over the Philadelphia Flyers on Forsberg's 15th goal of the season. Now, you could tell the Philadelphia Flyers were not happy about the way this game wrapped up or ended, but for Philip Forsberg, ever the opportunist and the goal scorer, he did everything right on this play. He looped around the top of the offensive zone. He fired a strong, heavy wrist shot towards the net, and then he followed his own shot, as they teach you to do from the earliest days of playing hockey, followed to the net, found a loose puck, and he put it into the net. 3-2 in overtime in favor of the Nashville Predators. Philadelphia outshoots Nashville 40-21 in this game. UC Saros is absolutely the reason the Nashville Predators were able to make it to overtime, and then UC Saros didn't even have to touch the puck in OT as Philip Forsberg gets the job done. But UC Saros, his heaviest workload of the season. Philip Forsberg, the game winner and opportunist there on the rebound for the Nashville Predators. 2 points that they probably didn't deserve, but they found a way to hang in there, and they found a way to find themselves a victory over a really good, really hot Philadelphia Flyers team at this point in the season. That's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. That was a pretty wild one down the stretch right there. UC Saros keeps the Preds in this one. We've got full analysis, box score, and more coming up next on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in, Renegades of Puck podcast, and this all begins just where we left off last game talking about the analysis. It's all about UC Saros again in this game. 37 out of 39. They ended up changing the official score sheet and taking one shot off of the board. 2 goals against. Now listen, 11 power play saves, 5 shorthanded saves. Under siege from the start. First period, 15 of 15. Second period, 13 of 14. Third period, 9 out of 10. Another incredible effort by UC Saros, and the numbers are trending in such a great direction. 13 and 10 is the record, but 9.10 save percentage and 2.79 goals against average. We haven't seen numbers like that from UC Saros this entire season, and all of that is because of his most recent stretch of games. 5-0 in his last 5 games, and this is reminding everybody why he is a Vezina finalist, why he has the potential to win the Vezina trophy in his career. 165 out of 173, a 953 save percentage, 1.60 goals against average. And the Nashville Predators have been absolutely one of the hottest teams in the NHL since UC Saros got his game turned around and started going in the right direction. I mean, listen, we've spent a lot of time talking about UC Saros these last couple of games, giving him all the credit in the world because he absolutely deserves it. 21 even strength saves, 11 power play saves, 5 shorthanded saves. This was not an easy workload. This was a very difficult game. The 2 goals that he did give up got outweighted on one of them. You know that he would probably say he wants that one back. And the other one was without a doubt, an interference penalty in the neutral zone, but I'm going to talk more about that here before the end of the analysis. I mean, both teams had to play with those refs, but that was egregious. Both sets of broadcasters went back and reviewed both sets of tape. Both of them noted that should have been called a penalty there. So UC Saros give that second goal right there on the backhand running 3-on-1, but UC Saros 37 out of 39, officially 2 goals against, and now again 5-0 and 953 save percentage in his last 5 starts. Philip Forsberg with a goal and assist in this one, 33 points, 29 games. It's the overtime game-winning goal, his 15th of the season. He's absolutely doing it all. He sets a goal up earlier in the game. He generates 6 shots on goal. He's out there for 404 power play and time on ice, 16-22 in total. It seemed like he was out there for so much more than that. And just ever the opportunist there at the end of the game, jumping on that loose puck as it was sitting on the pad, rightfully so, deemed to be a completely legal and good play. Philip Forsberg, the fastest to recognize, the quickest to the play, and then gets rewarded with the victory. Now, the 15th goal of the season, that's incredible because we're not even halfway through the season, and it sure does seem like Philip Forsberg is easily going to eclipse a 30-goal season. I'm just saying that I think he's going to get to a 40-goal season this season. I also noted something else, 33 points in 29 games. Paul Kariya holds the record for forward points. Of course, Roman Josi holds the franchise record as a defenseman for total points this season. Paul Kariya holds the forward mark, and I think that his mark of 85 may fall this season to Philip Forsberg. He's just playing at such an elevated level compared to where he was before. We thought Philip Forsberg was a fantastic hockey player before, but now he is consistently fantastic. He has found a new level with O'Reilly, with Nyquist, under Andrew Brunette. Not quite sure exactly what it is. Maybe it's a little piece of all of those different factors coming in, but Philip Forsberg is putting up one of the more special seasons that we've seen in his career to this point. That overtime game-winning goal, just fantastic, and it was the Flyers not even getting an opportunity to touch the puck in overtime. Now, Nyquist, a goal, 4 shots on goal, 19 points on the season. He's 4th on the team in scoring, and I have to say it out loud. Did not see this coming when he started out the season on the second line and was, well, let's just face it, invisible, not really getting much done, just trying to get his skates underneath him. Didn't look like there was a lot of hope for a future for Gus Nyquist, but the second he got on that first line with O'Reilly and with Forsberg, his game has just come to life. He's not the flashiest player, but he doesn't have to be. He's out there getting the job done, picks up another goal in this game, 4 shots on net. He's all over the ice. He's noticeable in every game, just not in big flashy ways. Philip Forsberg is the flash, O'Reilly is the hard work, and Nyquist is just business, man. He just goes all about it. So for Nyquist, he's fitting in better than I think anybody could have imagined. Nobody really was predicting this coming. Nobody was thinking that Nyquist was going to be in the top 5 in scoring for the team or on the top line for that matter. So Nyquist deserves an awful lot of respect and stick taps for the way he's gone about his business. He's come here and he's worked incredibly hard over the course of the first 29 games of his Predators career, and he is fitting in fabulously. We could talk about O'Reilly all day, but Nyquist deserves some conversation in this particular moment because he has just performed performing at such an excellent level. McCarron with the goal, always working hard, whether it's the physical component of the game, penalty killing, out there going to the net, working in the corners. Every time you see Michael McCarron, he's working hard. There were people that didn't want Michael McCarron to be a part of this team. There were people that thought Michael McCarron coming into the lineup after being healthy, scratched at the beginning of the season was going to be a detriment to this team and a terrible idea. I have to say, it's been completely the opposite. Michael McCarron has been fantastic for this Nashville Predators team, and being a fourth-line center, going out there, going to the hard areas, working the corners, being a physical player, Michael McCarron just seems to be a fantastic fit for this Nashville Predators team at this time. And he picks up another goal, and he's been tremendous this season. Now, I typically never mention officiating because both teams have to play under the sets of officials, and at the end of the day, it usually works itself out. But I've got to tell you, the officiating was pretty bad in this game, and neither team was happy with the calls. There was a call against Philadelphia on a high stick that never should have been called. In no way was that a penalty. And then the second goal for the Flyers was aided by a non-call in the neutral zone that everyone was in agreement should have been called. It was more than that. The officials just frankly let things go at times, and then at other times didn't let things go. It was a weird game from the officiating standpoint, which is the only way I pointed out. They were a factor in this game, and they shouldn't be. Typically, just like ice conditions, just like anything else, I say both teams have to play on it so it evens out. But this time, I thought the officiating was just bad. I thought Philly certainly got screwed on at least one penalty call. I thought the Preds got screwed on a non-call, and typically it's not something we like to talk because we just don't like to go down that road. But the officiating was bad for both teams and for the entire game, and it made the product, honestly, a little bit sloppy in this one. That's going to do it for the analysis portion of things. We've got the good, cold, hard numbers of the box score coming up next. Brian Baston's also in the trenches with us, and then we'll close this thing out. We'll talk about how the Preds found a way to get this thing done. We'll do that next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast. The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions. Welcome back in. Renegades of Puck podcast. Time for the numbers. Time for the box score. Then we'll get to Brian Bass and goal scorers for your Nashville Predators. Philip Forsberg, the overtime game-winning goal. McCarron and Nyquist also with goals in this game when it comes to assists. Philip Forsberg also an assist, 2 points. O'Reilly has an assist in this game. Cole Smith picks up an assist. Alex Carey, Roman Josi, and Luke Shen also pick up assists in this game. Shots on goal. It was Philip Forsberg leading the team with 6 shots on goal. Nyquist had 4 shots on goal. Pretty weird to see. I mean, none of the Nashville Predators were limited in their shots, but they couldn't get anything through from the blue line. Only Alex Carey and Roman Josi registered a shot on goal out of the defense, and believe me, they were taking shots from out high, but they were not getting them through. They were being blocked the entirety of this game. When it comes to block shots, the Nashville Predators were also fairly depressed in this particular metric, considering how many attempts the Flyers took, but the Flyers were able to get most of their shots through on net. 2 block shots for McDonough, 2 for Fabro, 2 for Carrier, and that's going to do it for block shots. In the hits category, Luzon leads the team again in hits, this time with 6. Shen also adds 5. Yakov Trenin adds 5 to that. Let's throw Colton Sissons in there for adding 3 as well. Time on ice leaders, very surprising. No forward over 20 minutes in this game, considering it went to overtime as briefly as it went to overtime. 19-21 in total time on ice for Ryan O'Reilly, leads all of the forwards. 17-19 from Nyquist, 17-10 from Sissons. That's going to do it for your forward time on ice. When it comes to the defensemen, of course, the captain, Roman Josi, led the team in total time on ice, 23-35. McDonough at 23-21, and Alex Carey at 20-31 in this game. Power play, Again, unable to convert, ineffective, falling to 16th in the NHL now. 404 for power play time for Forsberg, 349 for Nyquist, 333 for Sissons. This unit is not quite getting things done. 423 for Roman Josi out there on the ice. Like to see maybe some shifted around ice time on the power play coming up in the next back-to-back. On the penalty kill, this unit has been incredible. We mentioned how they've gone from 32nd in the league up to 21st in a relatively short stretch of time for the NHL, although shorthanded time on ice leaders for this game in the forward grouping. 351 by Cole Smith, 333 by Colton Sissons, 304 by Trennan, 238 by O'Reilly on the defensive side of things. 405 by Alex Carey, 352 by McDonough, 252 by Shen, and 259 by Luzon. The penalty kill unit was perfect and superb again in this game, and I'm going to give them some more credit here in a second. 37 out of 39 is UC Saros in the game, 2 goals against, 21 even strength saves, 11 power play saves, 5 shorthanded saves, a single game save percentage of .949. That's actually a little bit below where he's been over the course of his last 5 games, which is .953. Some other nuggets that fall out of the box score. The power play, mentioned it, 0 for 3. Got to do something on that power play to get it more effective. The last game, they against Montreal, they picked up a sweet power play goal. Great puck movement, great fast puck movement, and they were able to get the puck in the net. Now, a little bit stagnant on the power play, unable to generate much zone time, many shots on goal. This was really tough against Philly. The PK, though, 4 out of 4, and just incredible. Bend, not break mentality. UC Saros doing the bulk of the work, but the Nashville Predators got the job done on the PK yet again, now moved their National Hockey League ranking all the way up to 21st in the NHL from 32nd. And believe me, they were behind the 8 ball for quite a while there. Face-off winning percentage, 55.8%. That's much better for this Nashville Predators team. O'Reilly doing a nice job in this game. 11 block shots, 27 hits. Good job by the Nashville Predators in the physical component of things against the Philadelphia Flyers. 7 takeaways, 15 giveaways. Those 15 giveaways, one of the reasons the Predators struggled so mightily in the second and third period to really get anything going for themselves. Now, listen, that's not the end of the numbers. That's just the end of my portion of the numbers. Let's kick it over to the Renegade Analytics desk. Let's talk to Brian Baston from OnTheForecheck.com. He's got the numbers you need to know and the charts you need to see. He is the one and only Brian Baston.
Thanks a lot, Charlie. Let's not beat around the bush. Anyone with eyes in the cities of Nashville or Philadelphia who watched that game just now knows that despite UC Saros being far and away the MVP in Nashville's 3-2 overtime win against the Flyers tonight, this segment is called One Big Stat. And when someone wins the game in overtime, sets a new franchise record, and it's not only his only new record in a week, yeah, there's not much choice there. The Prince himself, Philip Forsberg, is the topic of tonight's One Big Stat. 3. That's how many records Philip Forsberg has set in the Nashville Predators record books in the last 6 days. Let's start with tonight. Forsberg needed just 18 seconds to fire a shot off a great move in transition by Roman Josi, and when the puck dribbled in the crease behind the goaltender's skates, number 9 was there to make the play and save the Predators from blowing yet another 2-goal lead. And the goal was a big one that kept the Predators a perfect 4-0 in overtime. And just 2 weeks ago, Philip Forsberg scored an overtime goal even quicker, getting the winner against the Penguins in just 14 seconds. That put Forsberg tied for the lead in Predators franchise history with David Legwand with 9 overtime goals. And with tonight's second effort, well, Forsberg sits alone atop the record books for goals in extra time. But that's not all. Just 6 days ago, Philip Forsberg had his 3rd game-winning goal in overtime for this season in the shootout against Chicago. And once again, it wasn't just a win on the ice, but a win in the record books, where Forsberg took sole possession in first place with both 16 career shootout goals and 48 shootout shots, breaking a tie in both with another Predators legend and the one that brought Philip Forsberg to the Predators in the first place, Martin Erat. And that's not to mention that Forsberg is the career leader in career goals, game-winning goals, and a few other categories, but there's only one franchise record that seems to have eluded Philip Forsberg by just a single goal. And he currently sits at second place for single-season goals with 42 behind Matt Duchene. Well, don't bet against it, Preds fans. With his 15th goal in 29 games tonight, Philip Forsberg is on pace for, well, you guessed it, exactly 42 goals. But I get the feeling that Philip Forsberg may not be done snatching yet another record from the Nashville Predators record books. And that's tonight's One Big Stat. Charlie.
Thank you so much, Brian. Sure to appreciate you jumping in the trenches with us from ontheforecheck.com. He's got the charts you need to see, the numbers you need to know. He is, of course, the one and only Brian Basson. Always appreciate having Brian on the show. And listen, let's close out Operation Number 835 by saying this. They found a way. The Predators found a way to win a game. Now, they are a team that is in a rebuild, and we're going to continue going down the checklist many, many times this season. A first-year head coach, a first-year GM, a whole bunch of new players, and a bunch of free agents that came in to try to solidify the lineup, and they are getting things done that you would not expect a team that is in their position to be doing. They found a way. They probably didn't deserve to win this game. They were in a shell for much of this game. Once the game was tied at 2 apiece, the Preds did find a way to flip that switch and turn it up for the last 10 minutes, getting some good sustained offense and getting the overtime winner, which gets them those 2 points, which is the most important. But for at least 50 minutes of this game, maybe just a little bit more, the Preds were in a weird shell. They couldn't get pucks through the neutral zone. They couldn't get pucks on net when they had the man advantage. They couldn't do anything. And frankly, the Philadelphia transition was just picking the Predators apart from start to finish in this game. Officiating aside, the Nashville Predators, they were able to find a way, and they maybe didn't deserve to win. But here is what that comes down to. Teams that are good, and the Predators are good. They're 16-13 after 29 games. They're in 4th place. They're 4 points out of 1st in the Central. The Predators are better than you think. The Predators are a good team, and good teams find ways to win when they don't put up their best performance, and they find ways to pick up points when maybe they're not supposed to. That's what the Nashville Predators did against the Philadelphia Flyers. Maybe that's what they did against the Montreal Canadiens too. Maybe the Preds are just riding a hot goaltender right now and picking up a lot of points in the standings. Whatever they're doing, it's working, and they're since going on that long losing streak on that Canadian road trip, the Nashville Predators have been so much better and so much more dominant. And they're going to, I think, continue progressing and getting better. And now everyone on the team is healthy, so the competitive balance, the competitive spirit of fighting it out for these roster spots, that's about to pick up. And for the Nashville Predators, Barrie ends up being a healthy scratch in this most recent game. You got to wonder, are the Predators getting closer to moving him along? All right, that's going to do it for Operation Number 835. Sure to appreciate Brian Basson jumping in the trenches. And you know what? Most importantly, I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate your viewership. I appreciate your time. And I certainly appreciate each and every one of you, especially now that we're at the holiday time. Remember, the Renegades of Puck are always there for you, so you're never alone out there, Renegades. That's going to do it for this show. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, and respect.